Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your first style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick Saboteur, Command, Deadeye, Mercenary, Deadeye, Commando, Psy-Freak, Saboteur, Sentinel, Commando, Deadeye. Deadeye chosen. Good choice. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads, but for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice.
Let me introduce myself. I'm the light and bright side of you, or your inner voice to be precise, an echo of balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
Seems more like you're being light-headed if you ask me, but you'll come around eventually.
But what comes around goes all
In your nature, and here I was hoping we'd be all about natural selection, survival of the strongest and so...
Natural selection is all about evolution and progress, and as soon as there's enough light, down.
Guess left can be right sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind, a reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. Hand up, further you go. The oil sludge is everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Down. You're low on health. Wow, that's good stuff. an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress, blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Not the easiest way to get up. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big up. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right, but no one was prepared. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Quite a shock to the system. Let's try that again. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Cut that one in half. Close encounter. Nice shot. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. He wants to thank you for taking his side. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way over. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then. There have been rumors of the legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like... There's no doubt you're the child. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land. The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is ever so close. He also... Had it not been for the Tree of Life, asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should... You found... The Nono's ki energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. Only time will tell. At least his intention is to... You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only... You'll need a net to catch the nono, and he won't... You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the pen site. They're hiding in the glitter grass that mostly grows deep inside damp caves, where they draw minerals. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall. But to... Now that you've seen the nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the... One day, the land won't be as peaceful. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking for you. You did good here to... No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's... He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the tree of life, but now he's afraid. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse that His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the... His friends have prepared something specific for each World Eater, the Mekton. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eater. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the tree of life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the world eaters. Sharp shirt. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the world eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The world eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the world eater. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
Ah! That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important.
Befarbihita, hun tokub kir yavofo, lolan ofo.
Out of Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby.
Nuka, nuburak.
The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor.
Satuatan popkila, yavofo, lolan ofo.
Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
Kozata ghetto.
Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's.
Yalawawatnawa, the water.
He believes the tribe Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part.
Kotuvon ko konvunkono, kotuvon poputore.
He can sense you share Myriad's view on the world.
Fabobe, mok kofar, kotuvon ko konvunkono.
Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose.
Ko buboyebul.
Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. They've destroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. Let's see. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at hopes you have patience. The Sifu can't stop himself from talking sometimes. Let's hope this isn't one of those days.
Zata is de muy totloho. Kariesne zdatse. Paro.
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew.
moi zata.
He welcomes you to the Jagni fort.
Ite reki.
The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you.
Vlada.
He's referring to your rampage through Bunker 101. It seems you don't mind a bit of blood on your hands.
Você si paro. Dada.
He understands that sometimes we need to lose ourselves.
Iglezed. Igles moi toxidra.
There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a...
Zanamach. Igles moi toxidra. Apinosko.
Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples.
Naoko onis poloknost. O zivot.
Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it was based on unarmed combat and the 6 weapons, the boomerang.
Tankremo. Zivot. Nestats ne okoni.
The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside. At least,
Novi. Naoko onis poloknost.
Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Says there is some darkness in the best of us, even you, and suggests you embrace that side of you and help them vanquish the tribes and let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life.
O vizoko dulatsi ni orzekali.
He had a feeling you'd say that. You're not sinister enough to be a Jagni. That big heart of yours makes you... He'll give you a chance to change your mind before you leave and asks you to reconsider. Otherwise, you'll be seen as a rival.
Oko mali muzamik ale.
Then so be it. He wants you to know that they'll show no mercy at the end of this war and offers you a last chance to come back and join when you realize you've picked the wrong.
O perfetta.
And with that, he urges you to seek protection at Myriad Stone Fort before word gets out that you've chosen not to side with them.
Dolo.
He disagrees, and the day you meet again, you'll understand why.
Nalest staridat. Yaput.
It's time to say goodbye, for... That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance.
تبجد فرقها في
Says they're wary of
نانا فلجات من فلن
Says the Sifu decides who the Sifu wants to...
Lavanen aginkan man. Geratna falo hutut mus. Tugai lavute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad, but he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101. He heard you took out-of-date side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your... He's convinced you've returned for a reason and is... There's something about your spirit that sparks memory. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original... There were 6 of them, but the unity fell apart after Lupa Lupin attacked the old village. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the Jagni tribe. The Myriad were placed here to fulfill a certain purpose. Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. You need to take the struggle to the enemy. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both have gentle minds, so tells you not to be afraid. Your fate. Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin share land again. They passed the point of no return as their words lost power and see no other way forward than using violence. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul and can... Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life. Even though it's now a different place from a different time, it is...